Welcome back. This is episode 3. My name is Jason. I've encountered my first serious technical hiccup. I was recording and lost a significant amount of time, which means that the next while is not strictly blind. I'm very regretful that this happened. What I'll try to do is I'm going to make all the same decisions. Try and recreate the original enthusiasm, but that first experience is now forever lost. Before that, though, there are two remarks to make about the previous episode, episode 2, both to do with the mood system. I had some time to think about that. And it's one, there was a point where Elodie's mood became less afraid, but it's possible that actually she became more angry from something. Now I won't be able to tell the difference between those two things because I've hidden feedback, but I've made a final decision now. I'm going to stick with hiding feedback for this playthrough. Encountering each new week as it begins in a strange, unexpected mood, but which I know behind the scenes is completely deterministic, will be a worthwhile experience, at least for me. And certainly, you can only play through it that way the first time. You can play it without feedback and then with feedback, but once you've played it with feedback, you know what's really happening. So that's how that's going to be. And the other thing is about this mood system. I made a comment about approaching an even mood and allowing Elodie to take control of her mood situation so that I can adjust her as needed to various things. And so I made a mistake. When these hearts are in the middle, that is when she would be fairly volatile to slight adjustments. What would actually give her an even mood would be if I position some of these things around so that her tendency is to be in one mood as opposed to others. So that is, I would be selecting not to have certain of these moods. You know, if I'd rather be cheerful than depressed, I would move this heart somewhere around to the cheerful direction. And then I just need to make it so that the hearts are close to each other in those magnets. And say if I were to decide that I don't ever want to be angry or afraid, I would keep that one near 0 and the other ones would be greater than it. Something like this would be the approach. But I'm not exactly going to start gaming her mood right away. There's still a lot to see with what happens. So here we are. This is week 3. So yes, we had just spoken to Charlotte about the lumens and how they are being burned, or at least she says so. And so I have to question whether or not really was that an immature kind of opinion. Does she really know? Is it wise for me to rely on the counsel of my also very young and sheltered, extremely sheltered cousin? And the answer is probably not. So, and that's the thing that helps the world come alive. I made a choice to talk to her instead of my father or what have you, and then the game treated me to an appropriate information reveal. So that's helping to bring me in. So on with studying. So what I considered about studying is I think now is the time to start thinking about the longest term goals. I'm only going to be able to study so many of these skills by the end of the game. So if I can just sort of think about which ones in total I want, I might be able to think of kind of general directions right now. And I can change that as I go, but taking advantage of the, study bonuses would be helpful. So royal demeanor, conversation, express, the whole social thing is probably really going to make a big impact, as it seems that incorporates the entirety of being able to communicate and work with the actual court situation. Physical I'll get there at some point. It would be more a matter of, just gaining some sort of basic physical training, fitness, as opposed to actually knowing how to use a sword, because I'm going to try to avoid, I don't know, dueling. I really don't see why I should be getting into any duels. That shouldn't happen. Intellectual. Another thing that's neat is because the skill groups, or the skill categories, have a cumulative bonus. The fact that intellectual includes 5 skill groups means it's capable of the highest total studying bonus if you just sort of specialize in all 5 of those. I don't think that's going to happen though. And finally, mystical. Mystical looks really great. This whole faith category. If I recall, this was boosted in the afraid mood. So that's a treat. So we'll be considering that at some point. So, gonna keep studying history. I should study either intrigue or economics or military, as that seems to be, the actual operation of state affairs. I should be good at doing something with the kingdom. Try and improve its situation in one of those ways. Or, just intrigue. Play Spy Master Elodie and simply try to avoid dying. So there's that to think about. Unfortunately, we're stopped by the depressed mood. We're not able to learn conversation, so I'm going to continue studying composure. And I'm going to take advantage of my convenient mood. See, we were afraid, which makes it more difficult to study intrigue or military. And I know I want one of those at one point. Now over in intrigue are internal affairs. And that should be more of the getting to know what's going on inside the court. Now you would think that studying internal affairs would, not be an intelligence service, but would actually just be, paying attention to things. But it's grouped in this category anyway. I suppose it's just the fact that knowing about it adds to the other two, and knowing about those two adds to that one. And it's about studying it, not the knowledge. It's a group of studying, so actually it is well positioned, I guess. So okay, composure, internal affairs. Here we go, composure, internal affairs. You practice deep breathing exercises, learning to find and maintain a sense of inner calm. Until you have children of your own, your maternal uncle, the Duke of Merva, is next in line for the crown, and after him would be his daughter, your cousin Charlotte. Okay, that's good to know. The Duke of Merva, he's my uncle. He didn't make a big impression when he showed up. That's the thing though. He just faded into the background. It was my aunt who really took center stage, but that could be an act. Who knows? The point is, the foremost person who'd have something to gain would be the Duke of Merva. Although I suppose right after that would be my aunt, who could at that point, I don't know, kill him. Or, but the thing is, there's nothing in particular about that relationship so far which has seemed out of place. It's not like them coming to visit has been a, well, we'll see. He loves me not. Lottie, do you have a boyfriend? Not really. I just like to play with the flowers. Yes. You do that, Lottie. Have fun. Me too. You gather your skirts and prepare to sit down, and all of a sudden, a hissing noise alerts you to a hidden danger. A snake! Charlotte, don't move! Elodie becomes serious. You grab for a stick to push the snake away, but you lack the skills to do the job properly. And poking the snake only makes it angry. Too fast to see, it lunges forward and sinks its fangs into your leg. Oh no! Is this it for Elodie? We're dead already! Oh god! Snake slithers away, but it's too late now. A strange tingling sensation begins to spread through your flesh. This is it! Yes, I've seen the snake scene. I know what's going to happen, sorry. That's a milk viper! They're poisonous! I don't feel good. Oh, the poison is quick acting. Your leg is going numb. You stumble and fall to the ground. Hold on! What is this? What is this? Your cousin kneels beside you and presses her hands over the bite mark. The area throbs painfully, then begins to feel warm. After a minute, you're dizzy, but your leg isn't buzzing anymore. Even the wound is What sorcery is this? What sorcery is this? How did you do that? I don't know how I... Oh, it's literal sorcery! Literal sorcery has now saved our... Well, thanks, Charlotte. I'm not supposed to tell anybody. People think it's freaky. You won't tell, will you? Of course not. I'm just lucky you were here. Okay. Girls, what's going on out here? I heard yelling. Nothing! We saw a snake, but it... Okay, yeah. Okay, so just, breaking the promise that you just made a few seconds ago. Good job, Elodie. We really gotta get her to smarten up. Seriously. A snake! That's it! Charlotte, pack your things. We're going back to Merva. It's not safe here. No! No! Charlotte is gone. Our only friend. That was quite serious business. Bitten by a snake. She runs off. So yes, as I was saying, I wonder if there's anything peculiar about the fact that there was a snake inside the castle. Right? 'Cause there's nothing that unusual about snakes appearing inside fortified encampments. Inside, walls. It's not like there are dungeons built deep into the earth. That would be very hard for a snake to just sort of end up in here. Oh no. Snakes are always popping up inside walled off locations. Yeah. Well, ultimately there isn't really a way to know, but definitely Charlotte having magical healing powers. That would be nice. I would like to keep her around, thanks. Wonder if I can get her back here. And that seems like a pretty good assassination plot, huh? Right? Yeah? Pretty good. The Duke of Merva shows up, Snake tries to kill Elodie, right? Seems really good. But on the other hand, Charlotte was there. So if it was a planned encounter, why would they want Charlotte to die? They don't need her to do that. Right? So even though the Duke of Merva would stand to profit from me dying, there's something actually really that sort of suggests that that's going on. So it would only be a paranoid thought. It's just sort of something to keep in mind for now. And studying. So adjusting my mood. Oh yes, we need to visit Juliana. I can't really afford to leave her in there for longer. I'm not really sure what might happen down there. You venture into the depths of the castle dungeons. The Duchess of Ursol is there in her cell, sitting perfectly straight on the bench against the wall and looking in your direction as if she'd been expecting you. Well, we lose. As in, clearly we couldn't outsmart her. Okay, you win. You win, Juliana. You got me. Hasty judgments. Look at her. She's just walking all over me. Yeah, okay. Are you ready to listen now? Yeah. Yeah, you win. Okay, I got it. What do you want to say? It is the responsibility of the King or Queen of Nova to handle magical energies to protect the domain. That is what Illumin does, what your mother did, and what I do. So another thing to keep in mind is, when the king said that she's the reason that my mother is dead, when he said that, if that was literally true, there wouldn't have been any kind of argument. She would have been arrested on sight. It wouldn't have been up to me, but instead it was just a kind of statement. So she's somehow indirectly responsible for my mother dying, and this sounds like that leads into that. So something about her being a Lumen, that part of herself led to her death. So that all makes sense. My father said it was your fault she died. She said is that she died by magic. Being a Lumen is never safe. We pay a high price for our powers. But without a Lumen Queen, this entire domain is at risk. Release me, and I will teach you what you need to know to keep your responsibilities. Yeah, don't really want to throw open the gates to my dungeon. Seem whimsical, but the fact is I am, so I don't think I'm gonna get away with trying to hide that. I don't have any choice, do I? Oh, you have a choice, Elodie. You have a choice. It's my choice, but you have a choice. Fine, I'll have the guards release you. Come to me in my rooms as soon as you can begin your training. Oh, as soon as you can to begin your training. Oh, so here we are. Following week, and we are scared. Rightly so, because that's some pretty hefty Destiny stuff going on there. Very, very troubling. See, what occurred to me just there was, she's saying that, but she said that becoming a Lumen isn't safe. So actually, if I look into becoming a Lumen, that might actually put me in danger. It might put me on some sort of path where I will die. Like, guaranteed. Because I'll be doing something. But the point is, will it be worth it? And yes, she said that I do have those powers. So I gotta decide whether or not I'm going to take that route seriously. And I'm not really sure that I'm thinking that I do. As much as I might think that she is honestly... Well, no, she says that I have responsibility. So if I think that her character is good, then I would be taking her seriously that there is some kind of responsibility. But it's also entirely possible that she is just kind of biased from being a Lumen. And then, you know, she wants me to become a Lumen. Not in a dishonest way, but in like a biased way. And the alternative is she's trying to trick me, but I'm just gonna throw that out now. She's clearly inside my head at this point. So poor old Elodie is afraid now. She became less depressed, I think was the change just there. No, she became more afraid again. Oh, she also became more pressured. Yes, so the opposite of lonely. I wonder what effect that is. I won't be able to know what effect that is until both afraid and depressed go down to 0, or this gets larger. Because these will override it. So here we are being afraid. We're back and allowed to study conversation. We have a bonus to faith. And we got that penalty to intrigue, so that's a problem. So what I reasoned through before is over down here in Mystical, which does look like attractive kind of study. I mean, meditation is useful. Divination, that sounds great. Lore, certainly lore. Lore would be all about, you know, just figuring out more things, although lore would be, you know, not material kind of knowledge. Certainly studying something in faith should be a way for me to verify the things that Juliana had said. So, for whatever reason, I did end up choosing to study lore at this week. And I had also reasoned meditation actually seems like not something to do. It would be... I compared it to composure in an earlier episode, but meditation is something you do actively. And it's something you do beforehand. So I'm guessing that having knowledge of meditation will unlock like a weekend activity that will help to adjust Elodie's mood. And while I am curious to see what that effect is, I have this suspicion that it's not going to be adjusting it in the directions I'm actually going to want. I'd much rather have the ability to react to things, or rather, composure help me to avoid reacting reflexively, as the dangers seem to come up week by week. So I ended up choosing lore to study, and I continued to study court manners. So, court manners, faith, lore. As the person with highest rank within the domain, no one may sit at any formal event unless you give them permission, and no one must ever turn their back on you. If they do, you are intended to recognize the insult. It's very good to know. See, we're starting to learn how to appear to be a strong queen. Appearances will be important in the absence of actual contentful knowledge. Really, truly. Only a lumen can channel magic, and only with the help of an attuned crystal. The ability to control a crystal seems to be inherited, so crystals can be passed from parent to child upon the lumen's death. Guess. The castle seems quieter with Charlotte and Emery and Zara and their parents gone. So Emery and Zara are the brother and sister of Charlotte, the ones who are going to school, whereas Charlotte is being kept home. Certainly not empty, though. Seems like we get more servants every day. So that seems like not a lot happened, but... So there are more servants appearing, which is mysterious. These people are moving into the castle. Gotta figure out what's up with that. And so... We gotta go talk to Juliana, I guess. Gotta ask her about the pendant. Not so much father. What is it you wanted to teach me? Oh, there's some grave music there. Need to know if you have your mother's crystal. A lumen crystal? No. The royal crystal has been passed down from ruler to ruler for generations. It belongs to you now, except that the king may be keeping it from you. Do you have a crystal? Of course. Whoa! She holds out her hands. Light flickers above her bosom, and then, with a shower of sparkles, something takes shape. You reach out to touch it, and it dissolves away into nothing. Magic! Wizards, dear reader! Wizards! That's... okay, so yeah. I can dig it. I feel what just happened. That was a magical experience. Something appeared, and Elodie reached out to it, and then it vanished, and it left her feeling odd. It belongs to me. No one can take it from me until I die. You need to find the crystal that belongs to you. So, here we are in week 5, which is where my previous recording made it. So yeah, I figured out what exactly caused the recording to be lost. Some funny business with, like, RAM or something. Just because of the recording software. So that won't happen again. So from here on, it's gonna be blind again. So yay, that'll be fun. It's difficult to move past the fact that the recordings were lost. It was a really fun recording that I liked. I really liked making. It was more expressive, and then I don't have it anymore. So gosh darn. But the past is the past. And so I'll be picking it up from here for the next episode. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment. Rate the video. YouTube doesn't have you rate the video anymore. It just has likes. So please leave a like if you like the video. Leave some feedback. And another episode will be up after this one.